Walk into any gym right now and you'll see this exact mistake playing out. Someone finishes a set of curls, immediately grabs a lighter dumbbell, grinds out more reps, drops again, collapses. They think that's a drop set. It isn't. And in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what's going wrong, and what to do instead if you actually want to build muscle. Drop sets have been a gym staple for over 40 years. Every training program includes them. Every fitness account recommends them. The idea sounds completely logical. Train to failure. Immediately reduce the weight, keep pushing, squeeze out more reps, more volume, more muscle. Simple math. Except, that's not how muscle growth actually works. The problem isn't the technique itself. Drop sets genuinely work, when used correctly. The issue is that most people apply them to every single exercise, at every point in their session, with no structure and no understanding of what's happening inside the muscle. They're adding fatigue, without adding the right stimulus. And the difference between those two things is the difference between consistent progress and a plateau that never moves. Most people have no idea they're doing this. They feel the burn, they feel the effort, and they assume that burn equals growth. It doesn't. Effort is not the same as stimulus. Let me show you exactly what the research says, and where this breaks down. In 2022, a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research reviewed 14 controlled studies comparing drop sets to traditional straight sets. The conclusion was clear: drop sets can match, and sometimes exceed, straight sets for hypertrophy. But only under very specific conditions. Here's the physiology. When a muscle reaches failure, not every muscle fiber has been fully recruited. Some fibers have been working hard since rep 1. Others were only partially activated. By immediately reducing the weight and continuing the set, you force those less fatigued fibers into action during a state of high metabolic stress. That's maximum mechanical tension across a wider range of motor units. And that's the primary driver of hypertrophy. At the same time, drop sets dramatically increase metabolic stress. Lactate and hydrogen ions accumulate rapidly. The body responds by triggering anabolic signaling pathways that support muscle protein synthesis. Mechanical tension plus metabolic stress, that combination is what makes drop sets genuinely powerful. But here's what the research is very specific about. These physiological effects depend entirely on how you program drop sets. The wrong context doesn't just make them neutral, it actively produces negative outcomes. And that's exactly what most people in the gym are walking into every single session. Mistake number 1. Using drop sets on compound movements. Squats, deadlifts, bench press, overhead press. These are multi-joint exercises that recruit enormous amounts of muscle mass and put significant load on your central nervous system. When you push a compound movement into drop set territory, you're not generating extra hypertrophy stimulus. You're generating systemic fatigue, the kind that takes 48 to 72 hours to clear. Research from Brad Schoenfeld's lab showed that excessive volume, past failure, on compound lifts reduces the anabolic response in the sessions that follow. That means your drop set squats on Monday are actively making your legs weaker by Wednesday. More work, less result. This is the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. Mistake number 2. Using drop sets at the wrong point in your session. Drop sets are a finishing tool. Their entire purpose is to maximize output when your primary training volume is already complete. When you use them in the first half of your workout, or even in the middle, you pre-fatigue muscles that still have productive, heavy work ahead of them. Every compound set that follows is compromised. Your total effective volume for the session drops, and your results follow. So how should you actually use drop sets? Here is the evidence-based protocol, specific, simple, and backed by research. First, isolation exercises only. Bicep curls, lateral raises, tricep pushdowns, cable flies, leg curls, single joint movements where fatigue stays local and doesn't spill over into the rest of your session. Second, end of your workout only. After your compound movements are done, after your primary volume is logged, drop sets are the final push, not the opening move, not the warm-up, not the middle. Third, 1 to 2 exercises per session, maximum. Not 5, not 10. Research supports 1 or 2 drop set exercises per session for optimal hypertrophy without compromising recovery. Fourth, drop the weight by 20 to 30%. Less than that and you don't create enough stimulus from the new fiber recruitment. More than that, and you lose the mechanical tension that makes the technique work in the first place. Fifth, rest only 5 to 10 seconds between drops, just enough to re-grip and adjust. The metabolic stress needs to stay elevated. That's part of the mechanism. That's the complete protocol. Apply it consistently, and you'll get everything drop sets actually promise. Drop sets are not the problem. They're one of the most efficient tools for adding hypertrophy volume without extending your time in the gym. The mistake was never the technique, it was the application. Use them correctly: isolation exercises, end of session, controlled weight drop, limited frequency. That's the formula the science supports. For more training breakdowns with the same evidence-based approach, check out the training playlist. It's on screen right now. See you there.